Okay, let me get everything set up here and we will get started. Hopefully everyone is having a great Tuesday. Let me just do a quick sound check and we should be getting started here. Okay, so the sound looks to be good. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay, the sound is good. Let's get this thing started. I hope everyone is having a great Tuesday. Right now, Bitcoin in the market is kind of struggling a little bit. So I do want to look at the Crypto Fear Greed Index at some point as we get closer to the time. So even though I'm live early, we're supposed to go live at 9 p.m. Central Time on Tuesdays and Saturdays, I want to do something else a little different. I want to kind of go through a watch list and I want to see if there's any altcoins in the top 100 cryptocurrencies that look somewhat interesting. And the deciding factor of this, so if you came early, congrats, you get this. The deciding factor is, are we above the 4-hour, 200-day moving average? If we're below it, then I'm not going to be interested in a long. If we're above it, I could be looking for trades. So the first one that we're going to start off with, and these are in no particular order. Well, I don't think they are. Maybe they are a little bit. TRX right now is below the 4-hour, 200-day moving average. So to me, that's not something I'd want to be interested in. So we're going to go right down the list. So to me, that's a no. AVAX, well below the 200. You had that crazy wick there down to 921. That's a big no. This is Chainlink. That is below the 200-day moving average. So to me, Chainlink is bearish. You have DOT crypto. That's bearish. So BCH, I did this a week ago, and there were in the top 100, no coins above the 4-hour, 200-day moving average. Right now, we start off, and BCH, Bitcoin Cash, right off the bat, is something that we can maybe be interested in. So daily is above the 200, 4-hour is above the 200, 1 hour is above the 200. In fact, it's even flagging out. Is Bitcoin Cash about to pump? You know, if you're looking for a hot coin, this is a good thing. If you came here early, you're getting this free extra analysis, I'll say. So that has a measure move. This 1 hour bull flag on Bitcoin Cash has a measure move of $642. That is also known resistance on Bitcoin Cash. So that almost gets you to 642. So Bitcoin Cash, I'll write that one down, and I might want to come back to that. So Bitcoin Cash is bullish. Let's go back to the 4-hour time frame. That is I want to look at that after. I want to get a list of all the ones that are bullish. The 4-hour on SHIB is bearish. Near, no, bearish. Uniswap is below the 4-hour. Litecoin just below it. Pepe below the 4-hour 200. So is ICP. Render token below the 4-hour 200. Most of these are still below it. Crypto.com bearish. You're looking at Casper, that is below the 4-hour. You're looking at Stacks Crypto, Injective. Apto is below it. You're looking at ETC, Ethereum Classic. You're looking at Arbitrum below the 4-hour 200-day moving average. So that is bearish. Now you look at Mantle, no. You look at Atom, no. HBAR touching the 4-hour 200, looking to make a higher low. But as far as I'm concerned, you're not above the 4-hour 200. It probably is about to be, though. Star Kidna, I don't know what that is. Filecoin, these are all coins within the top 100. OKB, no. Theata, no. Algo, no. Helium is above the 4-hour 200-day moving average. Let's look at the daily. Daily is not below the 4-hour, or it's not above the 4-hour 200, so it doesn't check all the boxes. Aave, no. You're looking at Phantom. For some reason, Phantom didn't load properly, so let me refresh it, and we will try that again. I don't know what happened with Phantom, but hopefully it loads this time. Doesn't want to load? Maybe yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't think that's the right Phantom. So, FLR, Flare, is bearish. And don't know what this is either. Core is down. Interesting. This doesn't look like the right core either because there's no volume. So let's just go through these again. Aave doesn't look good to me. Flare doesn't look good to me. Bonk crypto below the 4-hour 200. You got Flow is below the 4-hour 200. You got Pendle is below the 4-hour 200 by a long shot. You got XLM is above the 4-hour 200. Is the daily above it? Holy crap! The XLM, Bitcoin Cash, and XLM look like one of the higher coins. Let me go down to the 1 hour. Now the question is, are you about to lose it on the 1 hour? You know, I don't. Our Bitcoin Cash looked interesting. It was in a bull flag. XLM, it's above the 4-hour 200, so maybe something to have on your radar. But as far as I'm concerned, it's kind of struggling on the smaller time frames below the 10-minute 200. 1 hour is about to lose at 200. So to me at this point, XLM, I'd watch it, but it could be a hot coin later this week, but I would still probably pass on it. So VeChain, no. And you're looking at GRT. That is still bearish. So what is this one? GRT is bearish. You got Tron, just looks atrocious. You got AVAX Crypto, looks bearish. You got Chainlink, which I think we've already gone through Chainlink, because now we're back to Bitcoin Cash. So really, we went through the entire list, and the only coin that really looks extremely bullish to me right now would be Bitcoin Cash. Let me turn on the music, by the way. So Bitcoin Cash right now looks like might be the coin to trade. So with that being said, I would probably consider, I'm going to search Bitcoin Cash over here, but Bitcoin Cash might be something that I would add to my trading system right now. So I'm just going to look at the 10-minute time frame really quickly. Over the last week, Bitcoin Cash is up 16%. I mean, it looks bullish to me right now. So Bitcoin Cash, I'd be looking for a move to about $642. It looks probable and likely the 4-hour time frame oversold on the stock RSI. And it looks like Bitcoin Cash might get a nice bounce. You remember, the higher time frames, the daily is overbought. The 2 days, a lot of room to go. Daily and 12-hour are overbought. 8-hour is overbought. 6 hours overbought. But I love the 4-hour time frame, and I see continuation possible and likely for Bitcoin Cash to about $642. So if you're looking for a coin to trade over the next 7 days, this is not financial advice, but I see Bitcoin Cash probably getting to the low 600s, maybe 640s, in the next 14 days or so. So 642 is a measured move. That would probably be the coin I would watch over the next week, is Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash looks pretty bullish to me right now. Again, I would just watch that for a possible move to the upside. So I'll add Bitcoin Cash over to my watch list as well. It does look possibly that we could see a move here on Bitcoin Cash. If you guys have requests for altcoins, let me know in the comment section below and I'll look at them. But Bitcoin Cash, really, to me, that is the only crypto in the top 100 that looks even remotely bullish. Like XLM was above the 4-hour and daily 200s, but they weren't flagging and it didn't look that crazy. And the smaller time frames were starting to lose the 200s. So to me, Bitcoin Cash in the top 100 was the only crypto that looked halfway bullish. This looks really bullish. On scale 1 to 10, this looks like an 8 out of 10. It really does. So you know what? I'm not going to trade on it right now, but I will say I might open some kind of trade on it because it does look enticing. In fact, I'm going to open a trade on it when this live stream is over. It'll be a small position, but I'm going to open something just to be exposed. My take profit would be about $600, and I can even set up a position right now, and I can give you proper risk to reward. So really, say your take profit $636, and the stop loss really could be, if we zoom in here, didn't mean to do that. If we zoom in here, there's no reason that the stop can't be below that wick there. So I would say your stop at 548 or lower, and your take profit at 636. That's a 6.6 R&R. That means you can take this trade 6 times, and if you lost the first 5 but won the 6th time, you break even. And I don't think you're going to lose that many in a row based on this setup. Anything's possible, but Bitcoin Cash looks like the most likely scenario or best altcoin that I've seen for a continuation up. I'm going to call 640. I'm going to call the low 600s on Bitcoin Cash within the next 7 days. I think Bitcoin Cash is probably the coin you should at least look at a little bit. So let's get ready for the live stream. I think everything is set up for a regular live stream, but if you came early, then you got that little bit of extra information and that good trade. So that's what I'd watch. In fact, I'm gonna set an alert on Bitcoin Cash. If it hits my target at 642, I'll even say 643, then I will be alerted. I'm going to do it only once because I don't want it to go crazy. But if it hits 643, I'll be alerted, and then I can make an update video. But to me right now, that could really be the trade for the rest of this month into early November. It looks bullish, and I don't see why it can't get up there. Thank you for the likes on TikTok. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it a lot. Thank you. Even though they left, I appreciate it. So, yeah, Bitcoin Cash could be it. Gold, by the way, let me do an update on gold as well for the people that are early. 5-day time frame on gold coming down, 6-day time frame on the stock R site coming down, weekly coming down, but it looks like they're all coming down aggressively, trying to make a higher low. And daily on gold just got oversold and trying to get that bounce. So gold right now could be bouncing here. But look at this 4-hour time frame on gold about to make a lower high, losing the 200. So to me on gold, I still see probably 3,500 incoming, but it does look like it's making higher lows unlike the daily. That's a good sign. Okay, I'm going to go over to Bitcoin and we're going to do an update. I just made a YouTube video on Bitcoin of what I see happening, and I gave you 2 scenarios. So if you watch my YouTube video, then you would know. But at this point, we're going to go over and start the live stream. So welcome to the beginning of the live stream. I should say maybe at this point, the middle, but technically the beginning of our regular live stream. Right now, the Crypto Fear and Greed Index is currently coming in at 51. Yesterday, we were at 50 neutral. We're still at neutral today. Last week, we were in extreme fear at 25. And last month, we were at neutral at 50. So, that is something good to know. And of course, anytime this is anywhere near 10, I like buying more crypto. Right now, we're getting a little far away from it. But the fact that Bitcoin still isn't got a massive bounce, is interesting to me. So, that is something to take note of. Let's go over and look at Bookmap. Right now, Bookmap is suggesting that on the daily time frame, on the monthly time frame, we have more liquidity at 125, and then this is the daily on the right. We still have more liquidity at 115. So I still think that we should see about $115,000 Bitcoin before we come down. We have more liquidity at 115 than we do 110. But I will say 110 is closer, so we'll see what happens. Bookmap usually is right 90% of the time. So it suggests we get a move to 115, but anything is possible. And we can kind of go from there. So now let's head in over to the charts. Right now, let me start on the daily time frame for Bitcoin. And this is pretty easy. I pretty much know what's going on. Thank you, Mario, for the likes. I pretty much know what's going on because I just made a Bitcoin update for my YouTube channel like 2 hours ago. Bitcoin on the daily is overbought. The 12-hour is coming down in a downtrend. And it looks like the 8-hour time frame is trying to make a higher low. 6-hour and the 6-hour is coming down as well. 4-hour time frame is oversold. So I see Bitcoin in this falling wedge here with a measured move of about $119,000. Also, my bot has bought multiple times with under $1,000 in the trade, but it is in the trade, and my take profit on the bot is $116,000. So the bot thinks getting to 116 should be probable, and there's a lot of liquidity at 116 on Bookmap. 116 on Bookmap. There's a lot of liquidity, and actually, it's technically 116.5. So Bookmap suggests we get up there as well. So it's most likely that happens. It happens 90% of the time. So I'd be surprised at this point if we don't get that bounce. But I did say it as well. It doesn't look fantastic, and there's a lot of indecision in the market. So I said, if Bitcoin takes out the low, I would say this. If this, then that. I'll make it very simple for Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin takes out 112,000, I would be looking for a short down to probably 110. If we hold 112,000, and if we break, then I would say I think we need to break about 113.4 to be bullish. If you break $113,400, you could look for a long, and you could look for a short if you lose 112,000. So those are the two levels. Right now, I would not be in a trade. If you lose 112, look for a short to 110. If you break 113.4 to the upside, you could look for a long probably to 116. That's not financial advice. That's just what I'm doing, and I'm currently long. But I'm saying if you're not already in a position, I'd be waiting on the sidelines until one of those two things happen. Again, if you lose 112, the next level of liquidity is 110, and then to the upside, the next level of liquidity is 116.5. If you guys have requests for altcoins, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll look at them. But that's kind of my update on the market. So I'm also trying to use my bot in altcoins. It's bought this multiple times. It entered along here at $495. And I'm currently in that position as well. So I'm trying to sell EDU coin at 18.5. I have my take profit a little early, but EDU is the position I'm in that trade as well. So if it gets up to 18.5 is my take profit on EDU. I have about $1,000 in that trade. And that will be fine by me. If you guys also want to copy trade me, you can copy trade me on Blowfin Crypto Injury 333 under Blowfin copy trading. I also got it approved to be copy traded. You can copy trade me. Let me show you right now what my win rate is. My P&L might not be, well, I'm not trading with much money, but you can kind of see what's going on. And right now it says that my ROI is basically at 0 because I haven't closed these positions, but it's showing that my ROI is 0 because I'm in drawdown on my current trades. But when we hit the bounce, then it'll be fine. So I wouldn't worry about this right now. My stats are all finally here. So I win 90% of the time. My P&L is only $19 because I'm not trading with much money. But that is going to change here pretty soon. The RI, again, that's misconstrued because I haven't closed these positions yet. So I wouldn't look at that. My Sharpe ratio is 8, which is very high. Volatility is 8%, which I think that's a good thing. You don't want a lot of volatility, right? Anyways, that's kind of what we got going on. I'll check, next time I go live, I think it'll be better. Because if I close these positions in green, it would be pretty good. I don't think it should say negative ROI if you don't close the positions, but that's just my opinion. So it looks like Bitcoin's about to lose 112, guys, and it looks like we could tank down to 110. But until you lose 112, I would not enter a short. I really wouldn't. I do not. I mean, it's here, but I don't use the VRVP very much. I mean, it's there, but I don't really trade with it. By the way, though, if you do want to look at it, and I like when people bring it up because it is interesting to use. If Bitcoin does lose, yeah, the next big level of liquidity is 110.5. Actually, it's more like 111 on the 4-hour time frame. So, it just looks like we're going down to 110, 111 on Bitcoin. But again, I don't trade with that, because I just don't. I don't. My VRVP I kind of use on Bookmap. That's the same thing, but it's more accurate. So we'll see though. I did say I think it's most likely that we lose this level at 112. But I wouldn't do anything until you lose 112, and then if you lose 112, then maybe a short down to 110 would be the most likely scenario. But otherwise, you could get a double bottom here and bounce. That'd be bullish. That'd be awesome for my long. But yeah. We're live on YouTube as well and TikTok, so feel free to go check us out on YouTube. We got one person watching over there. Shout out to whoever that is. No idea who it is. But yeah, that's kind of my update on the markets. I'll be back live. What is today? Today's Tuesday. I'll be back live Saturday at 9 p.m. Central Time. But I do see more downside for Bitcoin if we lose 112. If that's we have to lose 112. If you don't lose 112, I can't be bearish on Bitcoin. At least not on the smaller time frames. So are there any other requests? Let me know and I'll look at them. We can go through these charts as well on the 4-hour time frame, but at the end of the day, I'm not, they don't, let me look at Yeah. So EDU is above the 4-hour 200-day moving average. It's above the daily, but like the smaller time frames just lost to 200. So to me, EDU is probably likely to continue to roll over. I would like to see this get to 18.5. That's my take profit on a little short-term day trade. But beyond that, even if you get to 18.5, you're still very bearish. So Giga Coin got that massive run up. No idea why, and now you're coming down. Probably back down to the 200-day moving average on a lot of these time frames. It looks like you just lost the 33-minute. Next stop on Giga would be the 1 hour, probably at 156. And then if you lose that, you're looking at the 2 hour at 139. So Giga looks kind of bearish to me. APR right now, it doesn't look great, kind of lackluster. So at the end of the day, I'm only, I'm long Bitcoin and I'm long EDU, but I would not go heavy in the market until we see what Bitcoin wants to do tonight. And to me, I really hope we don't lose 112, but if we do, I see 110 being the next macro stop. It might take a few days, or it could happen in 5 minutes, but I see 110 happening next if you lose 112. It is what it is, and Bitcoin just does not look good if you lose 112. Thank you for the follow, user 18. I appreciate it. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to kind of wrap it up there. I don't see any requests, but Bitcoin does not look good to me. And I'm long on EDU and I'm long Bitcoin, but those are very short-term trades. Although they won't be short-term if we keep rolling over. My take profit currently on Bitcoin's 116. My take profit on EDU is 18.5, I should say. And yeah, I guess I'll kind of leave it there. I went live a little bit early. So that's kind of what we got going on. I would like to see EDU get a pump here because I am long on it. But it's just taking its time. At some point, it should get a bounce, and that'll be good with me. Yeah. I don't think there's a lot of other things to go over. The NASDAQ, wait, one more thing I should say. The NASDAQ did hit a new all-time high, I do believe. I think the NASDAQ hit an all-time high today. Yeah, it did. Look, the last time I looked at this, the all-time high was $25,200, and now you're up way higher, and you just continue to go parabolic on NASDAQ, and that's pretty insane, actually. So NASDAQ looking to make new highs. That's awesome. There's not a lot to yay. I mean, let me see if I see any bullish patterns. It just looks like you're going to continue to pump here. It's not really even flagging out, unless it does something like this. It could be flagging out, I guess. If you go sideways another day, then sure, it's flagging out. But otherwise, if you just keep ripping tomorrow morning, then it's not. It's just, I at some point, though, I think it's pretty likely that this just continues to 26,316. That would not be that crazy. So that's really the next measured move. But I would like to see this flag out for the next day, and then maybe sometime later this week continue up. But NASDAQ in a nutshell is very bullish. It just is. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. I'll see you guys on Saturday at 9 p.m. Central Time. Until then, trade safe. Have a great weekend. Right now, or great week. Right now, the trend is your friend until the end. I will say I see a lot more downside before I see upside. So the next time I'll be live it's currently the 28th. I'll be live on the 1st, on Saturday, November 1st. So that's my last live stream for the month. Or should I go live? No. Yeah. I think that's yeah. I think that's I'll be back live on Saturday. Until then, have a trade safe. Come on, EDU, get to 18.5. That's my take profit. I would love nothing more than to sell that tonight before I go to bed. It's not even a huge position. It's $1,000, but it would be a nice little thing to see. All right, guys. I could see it happening right now, though. I could see it happening right now in EDU. We'll see. Around the bottom here, just pump. That'd be awesome. I want to look at the 1 minute time frame. 1 minute's struggling. Yeah. It's kind of choppy. We'll see. Thank you for the people that did come out and support me. I do appreciate it. Thank you again. And, yeah. That's all I got. Let me just check and see if there's any requests. Otherwise, with that being said, that's kind of all I got. I hope you have a great night. Adios. Good night.